Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're diving deep into a topic that affects millions of Indians living abroad. With 2025 around the corner, more and more Indian nationals are finding themselves in a difficult position when it comes to staying in their host countries. From stricter immigration laws to economic shifts and job insecurities, these countries are making it harder for Indian expats to continue living and working abroad. In this video, we'll be looking at the top 10 countries that are forcing Indians to return home, whether due to policy changes, labor market shifts, or rising living costs. If you're considering your options for the future, or just curious about the current global trends affecting Indian workers, this video is for you. So, let's get started and explore how the landscape for Indian migrants is changing in 2025. 10. Malaysia. By 2025, Malaysia's focus on reducing its reliance on foreign labor is driving many Indian workers to consider returning home. The government has been implementing stricter immigration policies, limiting the number of work permits issued to foreign nationals, especially in low-skill sectors like construction and manufacturing. Indian workers, who have historically made up a large portion of the foreign labor force, are finding it harder to renew their visas or secure new work opportunities in Malaysia. The rising cost of living, combined with fewer job opportunities, is making it more difficult for Indian migrants to sustain their livelihoods. Additionally, the government's focus on prioritizing local talent in the workforce is pushing Indian nationals out of the job market. With India's economy growing rapidly and offering more competitive salaries, especially in sectors like technology, many Indian professionals are opting to return home. The shift in Malaysia's labor policies, along with economic challenges, has made repatriation a more appealing option for Indian nationals looking for better prospects back in India. 9. South Africa. South Africa is becoming a more difficult place for Indian nationals to live and work by 2025 due to increasing anti-immigrant sentiment and a focus on protecting local employment. The country's government has introduced policies that prioritize hiring South African nationals over foreign workers, leading to a reduction in available jobs for Indian expats. The country also faces significant economic challenges, with high unemployment rates and a struggling job market that makes it even harder for immigrants to find stable work. Additionally, safety concerns in certain areas have made many Indian nationals feel less secure in the country. Combined with the rising cost of living, these challenges are pushing many Indian expats to look toward repatriation. India's growing economy, particularly in industries like technology, provides more stable job prospects, making it a more attractive destination for those considering returning home. As South Africa's labor market continues to favor local workers, many Indians are finding that returning to India offers better opportunities and security. 8. Singapore. Singapore, known for its thriving economy and high standard of living, is becoming more restrictive for foreign workers, particularly Indian nationals, by 2025. The government has been tightening its Employment Pass (EP) system, which regulates the entry and stay of foreign professionals. Indians working in tech, finance, and healthcare are facing increased competition for work visas, as the government aims to prioritize local talent in these sectors. Additionally, the cost of living in Singapore continues to rise, with housing and transportation becoming more expensive, making it increasingly difficult for expats to live comfortably. Stricter immigration policies and the reduction in available job opportunities for foreign workers have led many Indian professionals to reconsider their options. With India's economic growth offering similar opportunities, especially in tech and finance, returning to India has become an attractive option for those who are unable to secure long-term visas or permanent residency in Singapore. The combination of a tightening job market and rising living expenses is leading more Indians to choose repatriation over staying in Singapore. 7. Qatar. Qatar's economy, once reliant on a large expat workforce, is seeing a slowdown by 2025, particularly after the World Cup. As the demand for foreign labor decreases in sectors like construction and hospitality, many Indian workers are being forced to return home due to a lack of job opportunities. Qatar's government has also been introducing policies that prioritize Qatari nationals for employment, especially in non-essential sectors, making it harder for expats to renew work permits or find new jobs. The reduced need for foreign workers, combined with higher living costs, has made it more difficult for Indian nationals to sustain their lives in the country. For many, repatriation is becoming the most viable option, as India's economy is growing rapidly, offering more competitive job opportunities in fields like technology, finance, and engineering. The lack of long-term prospects in Qatar, along with stricter labor market regulations, is prompting many Indian expats to look toward returning to India for better stability and career advancement. 6. Kuwait. Kuwait's Kuwaitization policy, which aims to reduce the number of foreign workers, is directly affecting Indian nationals living in the country. By 2025, many Indians in Kuwait are facing job insecurity as the government increases pressure on companies to hire local workers instead of foreigners. The labor market is becoming more difficult to navigate, and work permits for expats are being increasingly scrutinized. Indian workers, particularly in sectors like construction, retail, and healthcare, are seeing their contracts and visas not renewed as companies are forced to comply with government mandates. The rising cost of living, combined with limited job opportunities for foreign workers, is also driving many Indians to consider returning home. With India's expanding economy offering new career opportunities, many Indian workers are opting to repatriate and pursue jobs in growing industries, such as technology, where their skills are in demand. The tightening of Kuwait's immigration policies, along with economic challenges, is leading many Indian nationals to reassess their futures and return to India. 5. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's Saudization policy, aimed at reducing reliance on foreign labor, is pushing many Indian workers to return home by 2025. The policy mandates that more jobs be filled by Saudi nationals, especially in sectors like retail, hospitality, and construction, where Indian workers have been heavily employed. As a result, Indian workers are increasingly facing job insecurity, as companies are forced to meet government quotas by hiring locals over foreign nationals. Additionally, the Saudi government is tightening visa renewals for expats, and the cost of living in the country has risen, making it harder for foreign workers to sustain themselves. Many Indian nationals are now finding that returning to India offers better prospects, particularly with the growth of the Indian economy and opportunities in sectors like technology, engineering, and finance. For those who have spent years in Saudi Arabia, the changing labor market and increasing restrictions on foreign workers are making it clear that repatriation is a more feasible and beneficial option. 4. Australia. Australia, once a popular destination for skilled Indian workers, is becoming more challenging in 2025 due to changes in immigration policies. The government has implemented measures that prioritize local workers over foreign nationals, particularly in industries where Indian professionals have been highly employed. The introduction of stricter visa policies, including higher income requirements for work visas and reduced pathways to permanent residency, has made it difficult for many Indians to secure long-term employment in Australia. Additionally, the increasing cost of living in major cities like Sydney and Melbourne, combined with fewer job opportunities for newcomers, has led many to reconsider their options. With a more competitive job market and the Australian government focusing on improving the employment prospects of its local citizens, Indian migrants are finding it harder to remain in the country. For many, returning to India has become a more viable option, as India's growing economy presents new opportunities for skilled professionals, making repatriation a realistic and appealing choice. 3. Canada. By 2025, Canada's immigration system has become more competitive, and many Indian nationals are feeling the pressure to return home. While Canada has traditionally been a popular destination for Indian migrants, the oversaturation of permanent residency (PR) applications is making it more difficult to secure long-term residency. The express entry system, which once streamlined immigration for skilled workers, now has a backlog of applications, leading to delays and uncertainty for many Indian professionals. Additionally, stricter enforcement of residency obligations and more stringent rules for maintaining PR status have made it harder for immigrants to stay. These complications, combined with rising living costs and higher taxes, have led many Indians to reconsider their future in Canada. While the Canadian economy remains strong, the competition for jobs, particularly in major cities like Toronto and Vancouver, has grown, reducing opportunities for newcomers. Many Indian professionals, who had hoped to secure their future in Canada, are now looking at opportunities back in India, where the job market is expanding and offers competitive salaries. The combination of immigration delays, economic pressures, and fewer employment opportunities has made repatriation a more attractive option for many Indian nationals living in Canada. 2. United Kingdom. In 2025, the United Kingdom is becoming less accessible for Indian nationals due to stricter immigration policies. While the UK has historically been a top destination for Indian migrants, particularly after Brexit, recent immigration reforms have created barriers. The government has introduced tighter restrictions on work visas, particularly in sectors where Indian workers have been highly employed, such as IT and healthcare. The focus on hiring local talent and reducing dependency on foreign workers has resulted in fewer opportunities for skilled Indian migrants. Additionally, limits on family reunification and the rising cost of living make it more difficult for Indian families to settle in the UK. Anti-immigrant sentiment, exacerbated by political and economic challenges, has created an environment of uncertainty. These factors, combined with increasing visa fees and more stringent renewal processes, have led many Indians to reconsider their future in the UK. As the job market tightens and with opportunities in India growing, returning home has become an appealing option. For many, the promise of better prospects in India, where the economy is flourishing, outweighs the challenges of navigating the UK's increasingly complicated immigration system. 1. United States. In 2025, the United States remains a key destination for Indian professionals, especially in fields like technology and healthcare. However, the path to long-term settlement has become increasingly difficult. The H-1B visa process is more competitive than ever, with long green card backlogs that leave many Indian workers in limbo for years. Despite some policy shifts under the Biden administration, the U.S. job market is prioritizing local workers, which reduces opportunities for foreign nationals. Additionally, rising anti-immigrant sentiment and stricter work visa regulations have made it harder for Indian nationals to secure permanent residency or extend their visas. With many industries tightening hiring practices and limited pathways to citizenship, some Indian workers are turning to repatriation. The Indian job market, especially in tech, has grown significantly, offering competitive salaries and career growth opportunities that may not require the uncertainty of staying in the U.S. As the situation in the U.S. remains uncertain, returning to India is becoming an appealing option for many who can't navigate the increasingly difficult immigration system or find job stability.